I'm JasonRobinhood, and these are the stocks of the day for Wednesday, January 26, 2022. Okay, so it is currently 1:39 p.m. here in Las Vegas, Wednesday, January 26, 2022, and we're going to go over the stocks of the day. Another red day in the market for all three major indexes. The Dow Jones was down 129 points. It currently trades at 34,168. The S&P 500 was down 6 points. It currently trades at 4,349. The Nasdaq was plus 2 points, so it was positive today. And that currently trades at 13,542. The VIX currently trades at a 31 handle. The 10-year is at 1.778. So today we are in earnings season. We had some Fed speak today. It kind of drove the market negative. We were up for most of the day. I believe the Dow Jones was up like 300. The Nasdaq was up 300. But then we had some Fed speak, and that was more hawkish than the market was prepared for. But in this series, we go over the 5 best. We go over about 15 to 16 stocks, maybe 20 on the high end of the best performing stocks in the stock market, even though the stock market was red today. We did find one stock outside of the major indexes that was up like 30% today. Let's see if we can find this stock. As you can see, this stock right here was up 31% today. Ticker symbol SRRA. I don't know what's happening here, but this stock went basically parabolic. Even though the rest of the market was red, this stock is up 63% for the week. And for the past month, it's up 35%. For the past 3 months, it's up 54%. Past year, it's up 87%. It seems like it's broken out, but for the past 5 years, it's down a lot. And you can see it move kind of similar like this in 2008, where it hit $144 a share. Where are we at right now? 29. Well, it did hit $144 a share, but it fell all the way down to $79 a share. So keep an eye on this stock. This stock could be cut in half. If you are maybe a day trader, you'll probably be looking at a stock like ticker symbol SRRA. But in this series, we go over the top 5 performance stocks from each index. We're going to start with the Dow Jones. The Dow Jones was down 129 points today, but we did find 5 winners. First stock is ticker symbol MSFT, Microsoft. Microsoft had earnings report today, so it's a good sign that people bought this stock. Or it's going down now. But it's a good sign that during the trading market, the stock was up almost 3%. After the earnings report. That's a good sign for the rest of the market. This stock is actually up 27%, so it's outperforming the Dow Jones. I believe the Dow Jones is up maybe 15%. So it's maybe about double the Dow Jones at this point for the past year. And for the past 5 years, Microsoft is up 372 points. So this is definitely a long-term trader portfolio. It pays a less than 1% of a dividend. Next stock is ticker symbol V for the best performance stocks in the Dow Jones. Okay, Visa, that's a good sign here. Also, Visa was up almost 2% today. It did not sell any of that back in the after-hours market. For the past year, Visa is way underperforming the market and the Dow Jones, as Visa is only up 2%. Not a good sign. But for the past 5 years, if you're a long-term shareholder of Visa, you are up 152%. That's a pretty strong sign for a financial company, and it pays a 0.66% dividend. Visa. Next stock for the best stocks in the Dow Jones today was ticker symbol AXP. AXP, I believe, was up like 10% yesterday. For the week, AXP is up 8%. It was up 1.28% today. For the year, it's up 47%. So AXP is definitely in a bull chart. I don't think this is the highs. The highs looked like they were around last October 187. So the next $12 is interesting if you want to keep an eye on AXP, if it could break above that $12 mark, right? I think that's right, 187. So keep an eye on it if you're a long-term investor. This stock is up 131% the past 5 years. You can see ever since 2020, it has basically doubled. It was at $73 at the lows down here, and now it's at $175. So a pretty strong sign for AXP in the past year, and it pays almost a 1% dividend. Next stock for the best performance stocks in the Dow Jones was ticker symbol JNJ. Johnson & Johnson. Johnson & Johnson was up almost a 0.5%. I believe Johnson & Johnson reported earnings yesterday, so it's a good sign the stock was up today, even though the Dow Jones was negative. But Johnson & Johnson is actually negative. If you own the stock for 1 year, Johnson & Johnson is actually negative. Not a good sign. But for the past 5 years, Johnson & Johnson is up almost 50%, so maybe about 10% per year. Not a bad sign. And it pays a 2.5% dividend. That's not a bad sign for a long-term investor. For the past 5 years, 50% return and almost a 3% dividend. And the last stock we're going to go over for the best performance stocks in the Dow Jones, wrong ticker symbol, is UNH. Wow, look at this. UNH is actually the largest component of the Dow Jones, as the Dow Jones is price weighted. So UNH trading at $461 is the largest component of the Dow Jones. So this is a pretty good sign that the largest component of the Dow Jones was up almost 1%, even though the Dow Jones was down 129 points today. So UNH is a stock you probably want to keep an eye on. For the week, it's down. For the month, it's down 8%. For the past 3 months, up 1%. For the past year, UNH is outperforming the Dow Jones, basically a double, 31%. And for the past 5 years, this is a pretty strong bull market chart, up 100, almost 200% 190% in the past 5 years. So a very good return if you're a long-term investor in UNH, and it pays a 1.23% dividend. Yeah, so those were the 5 best performance stocks in the Dow Jones. As I mentioned, the Dow Jones was negative 129 points today. It currently trades at 34,168. Obviously, we want to keep an eye on that the next 169 points. If we go down 169 points, we will be trading in the 33,000 range for the Dow Jones. Not a good sign to start the year. Next 5 stocks we're going to go over are the best performance stocks in the S&P 500. The S&P 500 was down only 6 points today, but we did find 5 winners. First stock for the S&P 500, you can see this stock is up over 11% today. I don't know if this is a buyout offer, maybe it was earnings, but this stock went basically parabolic in a red tape day. The stock was up 11.16%, ticker symbol GLW. But this stock is only up 1%. If you think about it, it was down 10%. It was down 10% yesterday. Now it's only up 1% for the past year. So not really a strong sign for this stock. But the one thing you could say about this chart is that you can see kind of a similar move last year around this time. January 28th, it was around $36, and then it flew all the way up. It was in a bull market all the way from January until like April. Went from 38 to about 46. You want to keep an eye on this stock the next $5. And you want to keep an eye on this stock until April and see if it could break that bear market. But it does pay a dividend. It pays a 2.72% dividend. Ticker symbol GLW. Best performance stock in the S&P 500. Next stock we're going to go with ticker symbol ADM. Is that really a thing? Ticker symbol ADM was up 5.70% today. For the past year, this is a strong chart. This stock is up over 36%, a very strong chart. Up 61% the past 5 years, clearly averaging over 10, well, not averaging over, but you could say averaging over 10% per year. That's a pretty good sign. Let's see if it pays a dividend. And it pays a 2.16% dividend. I feel like I should probably watch this stock. I'm going to just add it to my watch list. I'm going to keep an eye on this stock this year. I really like this move. It was up 5% today. It did not get any of that back in the after hours. And it's up 10% this past month. So this is probably one of the best performing stocks in the stock market, right? If it's up that much in a month where the rest of the market is down. So I'm going to keep an eye on this stock. I may add it to my portfolio. Next stock is ticker symbol TRE. Pterodyne? Is it negative? Well, Pterodyne, not really a good example, but kind of a good example of the market we're in. Pterodyne was up 3.67% during the market hours, but I don't know if it was earnings or the rest of the tape, but it gave back 1.30% in the after hours market. Pterodyne is barely positive by 0.5% the past year. Not really a good sign. You can see it from down here. It was at 107, and then October all the way through December, right? It went from 107 to 168, right? Yeah. 107 all the way to 168. Yeah, 168. That's a pretty strong sign. You can see at the beginning of the year, like last year, it kind of chopped along. So maybe if you're a long-term investor, you want to wait until like maybe October to buy this stock, because you can see it kind of went parabolic then, and then it dropped off at the end of the year. But for the past 5 years, this stock has gone parabolic. It's up 441%. So if you're a long-term investor in ticker symbol TER, Pterodyne, you have made a lot of money. And it pays a 0.29% dividend. Next stock for the best performing stocks in the S&P 500 is ticker symbol KLA. Oh, okay, bad example. See, well, it sold off in the after hours market, so it was positive during the market hours when I wrote it down. And we're still open in the market hours. As you can see, it's only 1:52 p.m. So the market is still kind of open, but it sold off 3% in the after hours market. Let's go to another stock. Ticker symbol SLB. Schlumberger. I don't think I pronounced that correctly at all. I'm not going to try to pronounce that again. But ticker symbol SLB was up a little more than 2.60% today. It gave a little bit back in the after hours market. It's up 65% in the past year. This is a very strong bull market chart. It definitely has outperformed the S&P 500. I believe the S&P 500 is up maybe 20% in the past year. So this stock has basically tripled the S&P 500 and the rest of the market. But it's down 53% in the past 5 years. So this stock has basically a lot to go. It can go up all the way up to 85. Probably not a stock for me at the moment. It does pay a 1.29% dividend. Let's see what it's done in a month. It's up 34% in a month. This is definitely the best chart we've seen all day, and one of the strongest stocks in the stock market with red tape. So, I may have to. I'm gonna add it to the watch list. I already own shares of Halliburton and ticker symbol MRO, but the energy sector in the stock market is clearly the best performing sector in the stock market at the moment. And this stock is up 34% in a month. So I may have missed a move, but I'm gonna keep an eye on it. And the last stock we're gonna go over for the best performance stocks in the S&P 500 is ticker symbol ADI, Analog Devices. This is a good sign. Okay, Analog Devices was up 2.57% during the trading day, and it has not sold off in the after hours market. That's a good sign. It's only up 3% in the past year, so it's underperforming the S&P 500 and the entire market, but it's up 119% the past 5 years. So if you're a long-term investor, you've made over 20% the past 5 years per year average. And it pays almost a 2% dividend, 1.77% dividend, ticker symbol ADI. So those were the top 5 performance stocks in the S&P 500. As I mentioned, the S&P 500 was down only 6 points today. It currently trades at 4,349. We want to keep an eye on the next 49 points in either direction. If we go up, we can go to 4,400. If we go down 49 points, we're looking at 4,200 on the S&P 500. That's going to be interesting. Now, for the final 5 stocks we're going to go over are for the Nasdaq 100. We're going to go over 5 stocks for the Nasdaq 100. The Nasdaq 100 was the only positive index today. It was plus 2 points today. The Nasdaq 100, the best performance stock in the Nasdaq 100 was ticker symbol AVGO. Broadcom. You can see AVGO was up a little more than 4%, 4.30%. Gave almost a 0.25% back in the after hours market. It's up 20% in the past year, but this stock has sold off tremendously. It was at 669. It's at 55. Wow, this stock has sold off. When is it? It sold off 16% in the past month. So, but for the past 5 years, this stock is up 191%, almost 200% for the past 5 years. So if you're a long-term investor in Broadcom, AVGO, you've made a lot of money. And this stock pays almost a 3% dividend. Wow, that's interesting. A 2.79% dividend for ticker symbol AVGO, the best performance stock in the Nasdaq 100 today. Next stock for the best performing stocks in the Nasdaq 100 today is ticker symbol HP. Microchip Technology. As you can see, Microchip Technology was up a little more than 2.55% today. It's actually negative on the year, so it's underperforming the Nasdaq 100 and the entire market. But it is up 122.99%, basically 123% in the past 5 years. It pays almost a 1.17% dividend. That's not a bad chart if you're a long-term investor, but probably not for me as it is negative, completely underperforming the entire market by like 15% in the past year. Next stock for the best performing stocks in the Nasdaq 100 is ticker symbol TXN, Texas Instruments. A good sign here. This stock was up a little more than 2.51%, and it did not sell any of that back in the after hours market. It currently is only up 3% in the past year, so it's underperforming the Nasdaq 100 and underperforming the entire market. But it is up 138% the past 5 years. This stock has basically gone in a straight line since March 20th, 2020. And the highs in this stock was last September around $200. So the next $22, you want to keep an eye on Texas Instruments if you're a long-term investor. And it pays a 2.42% dividend. So a pretty strong chart for a long-term investor, and it pays almost a 3% dividend. So we've seen some pretty good dividend-paying stocks today, actually. I would have to admit that. Next stock is ticker symbol DDOG, Datadog. Oh, wow, look at this. Datadog is actually up in the after-hours market. I'm going to have to look at this chart real quick. Datadog was up 2.32% during the trading day and up 1.14% in the after-hours market. That's a good sign. It's down 2% in the last week. Oh, it's down 30% in the last month. Wow. This stock is down 30%. Even though it's up almost 3% today, it's still down. It was down over 31, almost 32% in the past month. This is a bad chart. Down 20% in the past 3 months. Only 18% in the past year. So it's basically trading in line with the rest of the market, with the rest of the Nasdaq and the rest of the market. And Datadog looked like it just IPO'd in about 2022. I mean, that's about 3 years ago. But it's still positive for the past 5 years. That's a good sign. Does it pay a dividend? It does not pay a dividend, but probably a chart. if it wasn't down 30% in the past month, I don't know what happened there. This may be a kind of a bounce. Maybe the bottom has been put in around that 125 number. And keep an eye on that stock around that 125 number if you're looking to invest in Datadog. And the last stock we're going to go over for the best performing stocks in the Nasdaq 100 today was ticker symbol GOOG, Alphabet. Class C shares? Is that the right one? Should it be Class C? Was it Class A? Yeah, Class A. I think Class C, I don't know. But Class A shares, this is Google, this is Alphabet, this is YouTube. Alphabet was up a little more than 1.81%, and in the after hours market, it gained a 0.28% after hours market. That's a good sign for ticker symbol GOOGL, Alphabet. For the past year, Alphabet has clearly outperformed the market at a 37% range return in the past year. And for the past 5 years, this stock is up 211%, a very strong bull move from Google. The highs look like they were in October of last year, around almost $3,000 a share. So you want to keep an eye on this stock the next $500 if you're looking to invest in Google. If you can get above that $3,000 mark this year, that would be a clear bull sign. But Google does not, unfortunately, pay a dividend. With a stock returning 37% a year and up over 200% the past 5 years, you basically do not need a dividend. So yeah, those were 5 stocks from each index. I think that was 16 stocks total. Another negative day. I think we've only had like one positive day. Even though the Nasdaq was positive, only 2 points today. The rest of the market is basically in a bull. We're not a bull market. We're basically in a bear market at the moment. But in this series, we also try to find the best performing stocks in the stock market every day. It's good for long-term investors and it's good for day traders. I'm JasonRobinhood. Do you have any great performance stocks in your portfolio? Did you discover any new stocks in this video? I'm JasonRobinhood. These were the stocks of the day for Wednesday, January 26, 2022. Stay long in the stock market.